Hello and welcome back to the Sports Sermon. I'm Dylan Saggy.
I'm Jason Gandhi.
And we are back today to discuss the Ball family, Part 2. So we did one a long time ago, right when we started doing some more podcasts this summer. But a lot of stuff has happened with LeVar Ball and the Ball family since we recorded that first one a month and a half ago. So we thought we would make a new one with not a ton going on in sports right now, kind of at the awkward stage between basketball ending and football starting. A little bit of baseball going on right now. So
before we get started, though, like we say at the end of the videos, but to put it at the beginning, if there's stuff you guys want to hear about, let us know in the comment section on Twitter, really wherever, because we're kind of just waiting for our fans to let us know what they want to. Let us know what they want to hear.
Yeah, let us know anything you want. We'll talk about it. So make sure you put that in the comments. But let's get right into it. The Ball family. First, let's start out with the man, the legend, LeVar Ball. So, Jason, what do you think of him just overall?
So, I don't really have an issue with him. Don't get me wrong, I can see what people do. But at the same time, I like what he's doing. The way that he's bet on his kids, and he just really wrote it. Like, he's not really wavered. He's got the dying confidence that no matter what, he knows his sons are going to be good. And really, I respect him for that. Like, I said it to you off the podcast, but like, who else would you rather bet on than your son? Like, you're putting all your money, all your time into your son. And I mean, you raised him, you saw him grow up, and so I don't know. I love what he's doing, and I just really respect what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with him. I just think the stuff that he does is just completely strange. Just going on talk shows and just saying that he could beat Michael Jordan, saying that Lonzo could beat Steph Curry, making $495 shoes, saying stuff on talk shows and making t-shirts out of it. Like, the stuff he's doing is just completely crazy. But I guess it's working. People are talking about him. So, growing his brand, growing his son's brand. I mean, he's not doing bad by any means, but he's just kind of strange in the way he does things.
Yeah, I mean, he has a famous quote when I don't know, not many people listen to it, but I know especially Laker guys like LeVar told Magic like it's marketing, like it's not the LeVar that everyone knows, and I mean that's something big is like that he works out like 20 kids in Chino Hills, like he takes them like they're his own sons, like he's a very good person. It's just obviously he knows what's going to sell. I mean, like you said, we're talking about it. People are signing people are signing the checks. People are paying money to get their stuff. I mean, I know I have. I'm buying Big Baller stuff as a Laker fan. Like, LeVar knows what he's doing. Like, it's not his real personality. So, yeah, hate him if you want, but all the people that love him and love his sons are going to pay money to him.
Yeah, I definitely don't really care about him either way. He doesn't, like, affect my life. It's not like he's discriminating or hating on anybody. So I don't really have an issue with him. I just think some of the stuff he does is just kind of strange, like the WWE thing too. I didn't talk about that. Just the way he like ran up on that stage and that whole segment was just.
I mean, it was staged.
Yeah, it was staged, but I mean, it's just kind of strange.
I love it. Like, I think it's hilarious. Like, every day, like, I'm hoping there's a new LeVar Ball movie. Like, I'm like, this is awesome. Like, please keep. Like, I mean, he knows what he's doing. By putting all the attention on him, how much easier is it for Lonzo to not really have to worry about a spotlight? I mean, any star, Markelle Fultz, Jason Tatum, whoever, they've got a pressure on them. But with LeVar taking that pressure onto himself, it kind of makes it easier for Lonzo to adapt.
All right, so let's move on. Is there really a line for what LeVar Ball does, and what do you think? If so, what do you think that line should really be? And does LeVar ever cross it, or what do you think about that?
I mean, the way I look at it is, I have like a personal line, I guess. I have no issue with it. Like I've said, the only time where I stop caring, I guess, is the line when he talks about himself. I don't care if you can beat my girl one-on-one, all that. I have no issue with the Lonzo can beat Steph. If you believe it, say it. Like, no issues with that. My issues really just came with the whole, like, I can beat Michael Jordan or I'm better than this and all this crap. Like, I just don't care. Not that I think it's bad. I just genuinely don't care. Due to like a public and a social line, I mean the whole Christine Leahy thing, that didn't really bug me. I didn't think he meant to be a threat as people took it. I thought it was more of a, I don't know what the right word is. It was more of just like a chill out because what comes around goes around type thing. And I don't know. I guess I look at LeVar as he's not this crazy guy because yes, he puts on this mask for marketing and for sales. But I mean, not getting to know him because I've never met him, but like hearing these stories about off camera, like behind the scenes, you see that this guy is like such a nice person, such a good person that I don't really have an issue with it because I think he genuinely had a good intent by saying like watch your back or whatever his exact quote was to Christine Leahy. That's the only thing I could see where I can like see the debate. Really, I don't think he ever crosses the line. It's really just self confidence, confidence in his son, and just making sure everybody knows.
Yeah, I thought he did cross the line with the Christine Leahy thing. I mean, it just really to me came off as a threat. Like she kind of asked him why he didn't like make any products for women or anything, and he kind of threatened her back by saying like watch your back. To me, that kind of sounds like a threat. So I think he crossed it there with kind of when he gets mad on like talk shows or whatever he does. I think that's the only time he's really crossed it though. Like you said with the stuff talking about him and Lonzo, I think I could group them both in the same and just be like, you're an idiot. Like I don't. You can say it if you want, but I mean, obviously, I don't think either of those would ever be true. I think Steph would kill Lonzo, at least right now, in a one-on-one, and he would have no shot against Michael Jordan. So I don't think he really crossed any lines there. I just, like, you can say it if you want, but...
I mean, if you believe it, say I just don't care is how I looked at it. I was kind of like,
Yeah.
you do you, I don't care, though. Like, that's just me.
Well, with all these things that LeVar Ball says, is this going to hurt Lonzo, LiAngelo, LaMelo's career?
I mean, I think people overblow this that he's going to put a target on his back. I understand why you think it, but they're grown men. It's not like they're 10. They are grown men who are all big boys. Lonzo is an adult. He's making paychecks. He is going up against LeBron. It's not the Ball family going up against the James family. Like, it's just not that big of a deal. And I think everyone understands that, but the casual fan that's just convinced that Lonzo and LeVar are the same person are going to be together forever. Like, Lonzo and LeVar even said, like, they talk, like, probably once or twice a day, but, like, they don't see each other. Like, he's looking for an apartment. Like, it's not like he's still living in his house. Like, they're separating. And I think right now maybe that the rookies have an issue with him. Like, in Summer League, I think there's the biggest target there's ever going to be. Because, yeah, Markelle Fultz, in his back of his mind, is probably like, this guy's taking all my stardom as being the number one pick. Or Jason Tatum's like, why is this guy's not better than me? I can see that. But guys like LeBron, KD, Steph, they're like, I don't care. I'm trying to compete for championships. I'm focused on 30 other things before I even think about you, a rookie point guard on a bad team. Like, I don't think there's that much of a target, and I don't think LeVar has anything to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I can see the target on the back thing. I guess it kind of depends on Lonzo's play though. Like if he's getting close to, if he has a really good year and starts getting close to all these guys in talent, and the Lakers start winning, and LeVar's still talking trash, that kind of stuff I can kind of see, and that.
Well, if that's happening, what are they going to say? Damn, your dad's right. Like, there's nothing else to say. Like,
I mean,
if he's right, he's right.
I mean, just trash talk more of like going at the players. Like, I don't know. Not like the Lakers are going to make the playoffs. Like, I don't think anyone cares about that kind of stuff. But like saying he could beat Steph Curry one-on-one, saying he's like better than De'Aaron Fox and all this, they're just going to be more motivated to go up against him.
I think Fox for sure. That's my thing with like Steph Curry though. How old is he? 29? You're telling me that he cares about some 19-year-old that's 10 years younger than him, what his dad thinks of him? I'm not buying it. I really just don't think that Steph cares, to be honest. Maybe that's me, but I just don't think the NBA players care right now. They're focused on so many other things, especially the great ones.
Yeah, I think, at least right now, but
yeah,
if Lonzo, it just kind of depends on how Lonzo plays, I think.
But I guess the same thing with that is as the years go on, I think his dad's going to get less and less involved.
I don't know.
In Lonzo's life. You can probably still be there for Jello the same way as Lonzo, but you forget they're not living with him anymore.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think living with him's any issue. I think the thing is, if LeVar comes out and says that Steph is trash and Lonzo would
say
beat him by
that.
50.
He wouldn't say that anyone's trash. He just said my son's better.
I don't know. I think that can kind of disrespect, give more motivation against Lonzo, but I don't see it hurting him, especially against these older guys in
Yeah, I
any
don't see many
significant
people
way, at
caring.
least right away. I think it has the potential to, but probably not likely. But let's move on to Lonzo, the number 2 pick and one of the newest members of the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of things been going around. How good do you think he will be in the NBA? One of the best prospects in coming into the NBA draft. Had a great year at UCLA, but I mean, did not have the greatest performances against guys like De'Aaron Fox and other top talent. How good do you think he'll be, Jason?
I mean, the way I look at it is like I like looking at player comparisons to kind of judge somebody's talent. Not that I think you can go like no player is the exact same as someone else, but I think his floor is someone like Rajon Rondo. He never really gets his shot going, but he still has beautiful court vision and can play defense when he wants. I think he's already there now. But his ceiling, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Hall of Fame, I think for sure. If he can get his shot going, I think that guy could be a top 5, top 7 greatest point guard ever go down. I think if he can get his shot going, I think he'll have a better career than Markelle Fultz. I really do. I think that I'm betting on his shot. He's my number 1 rated prospect coming out of college, but I think he will figure out that shot, and I just don't see it as an issue. I think that's kind of the X factor though, is that and just defensive effort. If he really buys into Walton's defense and Coach Walton gets him to just give 100% on both ends of the floor, he could be one of the greatest point guards ever to play. And I mean, I just don't see that being an issue. But if he can't get his shot going, I think the lowest he could go is someone like Rajon Rondo. I think he's not much lower already.
Yeah, I definitely see the Jason Kidd comparison, especially. I think that's definitely his ceiling. I mean, the only things I'm really concerned about is his quickness and his shot right now. I don't really see the quickness in Lonzo Ball that much. I don't think he's that quick of a guy. Like, his instincts are quick, but in terms of his feet and speed and quickness, I really just don't see it that much. And like you said, the defensive effort, I think he'll give more effort, especially in the NBA. But if the quickness doesn't come, then I'm not buying that he'll be anything great on the defensive side. Also, the shooting so far, it's just been atrocious in the summer league.
I mean, it's 2 games.
Yeah, I know. I'm not basing it all on 2 games, but I'm saying so far it has not looked anything pretty. But his passing, of course, his number 1 skill set has been absolutely fantastic. At worst, he'll be a great passer, but he could do something like Michael Carter Williams, I think, and kind of fade out if he can never keep developing, past the really passing stage.
Yeah.
Like just being great at passing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really don't see him having that low of a I think his floor is still like Rajon Rondo, great passer, great defensive player.
All right, let's move on. Will playing for the Lakers hurt or help Lonzo's career? Being from LA, having LeVar in his backyard all the time, will that be a good or bad thing for Lonzo's career?
I think it'll help. I think it could only help. Maybe it won't do anything, but I don't see it being as a negative at all. Only thing I could see as the issue is just having his family in his backyard. But like I said, I'm not worried about the family. They understand he's a grown man. But I think it's going to help. I mean, you have Magic Johnson, the greatest point guard ever to play. In my opinion, there's no debate. The person you put up there is Stockton. But as your greatest point guard ever to play, as your president of basketball operations, his office is right above the practice floor. He can come down at any time and really just work with you. And I mean, who else would you rather have than someone like that? Magic's already drawn so many comparisons to him. Magic's done it himself. Media have done it. I just think it's a beautiful fit. And I'm just really excited to see the Lake Show.
Yeah, I do have some concerns about his family being right there. Not just like a whole LeVar kind of thing, but just being like not focused on his career maybe, and too focused on like his family being there and everything. But I think it'll be a neutral thing. I do like the Magic Johnson thing that you mentioned, though. Magic Johnson, a guy that a similar player to Lonzo, and really can help his career go along. So I like it for the Lakers. I don't really love it though. I think people could like when you get older and maybe progress into the NBA, you could use a fresh start in a new city with no distractions.
I really don't think it's gonna be a distraction. I mean, we'll get into it later as we like summarize all of them once we get through all the boys and stuff. I just really don't see it as a distraction.
Well, let's talk about LeVar a little bit and how he relates with Lonzo. Do you think Lonzo wants LeVar to start shutting up now?
No, I don't have an exact quote, but I remember seeing an interview somewhere when they asked him about it, and they said, and he basically summarized. I'm gonna summarize it with him saying, "I've grown up with him for the last 19 years, where nothing's changed. It's not like when he got into the media, he's just now been that confident. I mean, like he's always been this confident. He's always told me I could be the best, and so nothing's really new for me. And I think that's really just makes sense in my mind. Like it's not like LeVar Ball changed who he was in the media for marketing. He changed the way he approached things, but it's not like he changed his confidence. He didn't change anything drastic about his personality. And so I don't think Lonzo cares. That got him this far now. And I mean, even LeVar's recognized that LeVar's got him as far as he can go. Now it's time for Magic to take him the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think LeVar will start shutting up a little bit, so I don't think this will be too big of a concern. But Lonzo just, you can't really read into what he really thinks because he doesn't say a lot.
Yeah, it's very monotone, very much of just answering the question, not much detail. But I mean, I actually think it's him. I think he is a very reserved, quiet, sit back to myself type person. Similar to Brandon Ingram. And that's just like how a lot of the Lakers stars are. It's going to be a fun time watching press conferences of da 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 da. Like, it's going to be very boring.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, though, it doesn't seem like Lonzo really cares too much either way. Like LeVar can say whatever he wants, and it doesn't really affect him. He might start caring a little bit if it really affects his play, but I don't really see that happening. So I don't think Lonzo really cares too much then. But Lonzo gets a lot of hate because of his dad. A lot of people just see them as the same exact person and kind of hate on them both for the same exact things that really LeVar has brought to the family, I guess, in a positive or negative way. Do you think Lonzo gets too much hate?
I think yes. I think I've made this very clear to people that talk to me like, off of this. I think it's obnoxious that the dude literally cannot win. There was a tweet that I retweeted if you follow me on Twitter that I don't know who tweeted it out, but I found it, and it's literally like no matter what Lonzo does, it's either someone else's fault, or sorry, it's either his fault or someone else gets the credit. And I mean, it's just coming truer and truer as we go through games. Like he had a bad game and he was a bust. He averaged a triple double. Oh, it's summer league, and he doesn't play because he was injured, and it's he's ducking Fox. Like it was from Ross Gasmer, but I don't know. I just am kind of tired of everyone making excuses for when he plays good and everyone blaming it all on him when he plays bad. Yes, he's going to have bad games. The first game he plays is not a good one, but you still got to look at the positives. And yes, he's going to have good games, and you got to be able to accept it. At the same time, I'm able to look at the negatives and say, yes, he had a bad game. In the triple-double, he could have shot better. Like, it's about being even keel on that and not being so one-sided. And I feel like, especially today in general, people are so quick to jump to a side and stick to it. Or really, like, I'm a Lonzo fan, yes, but there's stuff he needs to work on. And I think you're not as much of a Lonzo fan, but you at least can recognize that there's stuff he's good at. Like, I think he gets a lot of hate because of LeVar, and it just isn't justified.
Yeah, well, I partially agree. You mentioned your tweet that said he couldn't win no matter what he does, and whether it's fair or not, that's LeVar's fault. What he's brought, his comments, brings people to either love him or hate him. So people pick a side based on
Lonzo's not LeVar.
I know,
You
but people
remember that.
associate them. Whether it's fair or not, people associate them in the same.
That's the issue then. Is LeVar is going to talk, but if you talk to Lonzo, he's not like that. He's not an outspoken guy. That's LaMelo. LaMelo is the guy that's going to go out and talk his butt off all the time. Lonzo was a reserved. I'm gonna work hard, stay in the gym, and do my thing. And I think people need to separate the two. He is a 20-year-old man. I'm not gonna say kid, man that is his own person. You're not just like your dad. I'm not just like my dad, and that happens all over the place. People are different just because they came up from the same place. It does not mean you can associate them.
Yeah, I agree that they shouldn't be associated, but I mean, if LeVar never said anything and Lonzo was still the same exact player he was, people would not be having the same, oh, he's a bust after one game, or oh, it's just summer league after a triple double. Like people would be amazed he got a triple double, but haters of Lonzo are gonna just say it's a summer league game. I don't think he would have as many haters or as many people that just downright love him because of his dad's personality and from LA and everything, especially for people out in LA that are Lakers fans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no matter what you think, I think LeVar definitely brought some of that upon him. Whether
Maybe.
it's fair that they're associated or not, they are
I agree
in a
with
lot
that.
of people's minds. But let's move on to the second Ball brother, LiAngelo, the guy who's probably the least famous out of the three, and even his dad, really. LaMelo had the awesome half-court shot. Lonzo got drafted second overall to the Lakers, and everyone knows who LeVar Ball is. But LiAngelo, kind of the guy that's left out. He'll be going to UCLA next year to play for the Bruins. How do you think he'll do at UCLA, Jason?
I think he'll have a good season. I don't think he's going to have Alonzo this season, but I think he's going to be a solid player, a starter, and I think he's going to be a first-round pick.
You think he will be a first-round pick?
I do. I think, especially if Lonzo has a good year this year, I think you're going to see Jello, who's got such a good NBA-ready body, that if he can just, especially if Lonzo gets his shot going, if Jello can get his shot at UCLA, I mean, his body is phenomenal. I think even LeVar said he should be the best because of how big and how just built he is. I mean, he is a 6'5", 220 kid. Like, that's a perfect body for a 2-3 position. And 6'5" is a not very generous number. I've seen 6'6", 6'7". So, really, I like his body type. It's just a matter of fine-tuning those skills. I think he's the first-round pick by the end of the year under Steve Alford.
Really? You think he develops that much? I mean, he's only a 3-star prospect.
I mean, that doesn't matter for me. I mean, LiAngelo scored 72 in high school. 13.
Oh, I don't count those. We'll talk about that later with LaMelo, but
I mean, count it or not, it's points. And if you get 13 3-pointers, that should count. Like, 3-pointers, you see him miss open 3-pointers in the NBA, college, high school, third grade, wherever. 3-pointers aren't a layup for anybody but Steph Curry. So, I just really don't understand the hate with LiAngelo. Yes, he might not be as good as Lonzo right now, but I definitely think he'll be a first-round pick, and I just don't think that his skill is that bad. And, 3 stars don't matter to me. Like, there's 2 stars, 1 stars, no stars that get drafted, and there's 5 stars that don't get touched in the NBA. So, I don't know. I just don't think that it matters as much. If you just watch his body, and I think he's got a chance to be one of the good players in the NBA.
yeah, in terms of next year, how he'll do at UCLA, will he even get that many minutes, though?
Why wouldn't he?
I mean, they got other guys at UCLA. He's only a 3-star recruit. Like, would Steve Alford play him a ton?
I mean, they
His
lost
first
their
year?
starting backcourt. He can play the 2
Yeah.
either way.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't see him doing anything fantastic. Like, he has the worst shot, I would say, out of the 3 brothers.
Yes, but he's got the biggest body.
Yeah, but I
I mean,
mean,
if he can develop into some guy like Kawhi, who's got a big enough body, I have a Kawhi at the 2, who's big enough to go down low, that can also hit the J. I mean, they have one of the best small forwards and point guards coming in Chris Wilkes and Jalen Hands. The one position still open is the 2. I mean, yeah, they've got other guys, but LiAngelo, I think, is the best 2 coming in. He's a 3-star, like you said, and I just really think under the right coaching, and I think Alfred's a great coach, he'll get enough, I don't know what the right word is, enough development and really be able to make his case.
do you think he'll go out next year, though?
He's going to have to. Because if he stays, his career is over. In the
Why?
media. If he stays after LeVar said they're going to be one and done, he's done.
LeVar did say that.
Yeah. He said they're all going to be one and done. He can't stay now.
I don't
And
know.
I think he should go. I mean, he's. I just could he develop more in college? Yes, but I mean, if the ball stock is as high as it is now, I say go. If that makes sense.
I guess it depends on
How Lonzo
Lonzo's
does.
years.
Exactly. I think it sounds dumb, but I think that's definitely a big part of it. Is how does Lonzo do?
Kind of weird. We talked about LeVar. A lot of it depends on what Lonzo does. Leangelo, where he gets picked in the NBA next year, might depend on
both of them.
what Lonzo does and what LeVar says.
I think LaMelo, who we're talking about next, is the same way. Like they all depend on one another.
Yeah, I think it's weird. All these guys are just one domino falls, the rest of them either suffer or continue to rise in stock. It's crazy. I just don't love LiAngelo Ball's game, but I don't think he'll be a first round pick either. I think he'll go late second round or undrafted to the Lakers.
That'd be phenomenal. Could you imagine LeVar Ball?
I mean, if you're the Lakers, I think you have Lonzo in your ear. You're gonna have LeVar Ball if he gets undrafted, screaming for the Lakers.
At least put him on your second team.
Yeah.
At least.
I
Give
think
him a chance. Like, he doesn't hurt you. Like, I'm sorry, you're going to miss out on anybody that's that good. Give him the 12th spot on the roster and give him a minute. And at least LeVar shuts up, you know?
Yeah. Do you think he deserves all the hate, though, for being the worst, at least right now, out of the three brothers?
No, I think people are so quick to judge. I mean, this is in general, like, besides LeBron, guys that don't make the flashy plays don't get much love. DeMarcus Cousins, he was always talked about for his attitude, even though he dropped 30 and 15 a night. And, like, all these guys that don't make the flashy play can still play the game of basketball. I think Jello can still ball the heck out, to get the pun, but, like, he can still ball, and, like, I just don't understand the hate. Yes, he's not as good coming out of high school. He's not as polished as Lonzo and LaMelo will be, but he's still got talent.
Yeah.
People act like he's awful.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not bad by any stretch, but I just don't see him translating to the NBA or having, like, as good of a year as Lonzo or LaMelo will at UCLA. But let's move on to LaMelo now. Do you think he lives up to all the hype? Is he as good as everyone says he is with that big half-court shot, 92 points?
That
what do you
kid
think?
can shoot the lights out. Like, it's funny because they all have a different game, yet they were all, like, not made the same way, but, like, they all have the same workout. Like, LaMelo, his go-to is his shot. LiAngelo's is his defense and, like, his body. And Lonzo's is his court vision. Like, I think it's kind of funny how all three of them are good at everything the other one's, like, not. And, like, they all kind of complement each other so nicely. And, I mean, LaMelo is the one that's going to put the Steph Curry kind of hype, where he'll hit it from half court, he'll hit 8 threes a game, where Lonzo's going to get the guys like Magic, where it's quick passing, Showtime, Jason Kidd, that type stuff. And I think LaMelo's going to live up to it. I really do like his game a lot.
I don't know. I guess it's too early to judge.
Yeah, he's only going to be a junior in high school.
Yeah,
it's hard.
but from what we've seen, I mean, he's an insane shooter. He is kind of streaky. He's really streaky right now, though. He has some games where he just cannot shoot to save his life, but other games he can't miss to save his life. I think he's definitely really good, but definitely raw, though, especially the kind of way he likes to play. I think he needs a little bit more consistency in his shot, but only a junior in high school. He has 2 more years of high school to develop that. I think he'll be solid.
And I think Steve Alford will help him a lot at UCLA once he gets there.
Okay, so Jason, do you think that LaMelo is similar to LeVar? They both talk a big game, and LaMelo with his style of jacking up three-pointers. Do you think like that kind of translates to kind of a style off the court, especially with talking a big game? If he has a bad game, people are going to roast him even worse than Lonzo's 2 for 15 performance with all of his talk. Do you think he's similar to LeVar?
Yeah, he's the one that's like LeVar. He likes to be the one talking and hype himself up and get everyone talking about him. And so I think when he gets to the NBA, if he's still like that and he has a bad game, especially early, he's going to get destroyed on Twitter or Instagram, whatever. People are going to light him up because the minute people fail, our world loves to jump all over it.
Yeah, definitely kind of similar to LeVar, and he wants to talk a big game for himself. We'll have to see if he kind of tones that down. He's still in high school, only a sophomore last year, so he still has time to kind of tone it down really and become more mature. But as of right now, he's kind of similar to LeVar in that he wants to talk about himself and what he does and uh, all that kind of stuff. Do you think he has too big of an ego, especially as only a high schooler right now?
I mean, like I said, I don't think it is yet, but when he gets to the NBA, if he didn't calm down and mature a little bit, I think it would be an issue.
Yeah, right now he's better than every high schooler in the nation, but
Debatably, yeah.
so he can as of right now. But even in college, he's not gonna be the best one on the floor every night. So I think he doesn't really. He needs to tone it down at least by college. But one last thing about LaMelo, was his 92-point game legit or not? Especially, I mean, we heard a lot about the cherry picking and all of that in the game. Was it legit?
Yes, 92 points and 92 points. I'd get the argument if it was 30, 40, whatever. 92 is 92. You could not score not you. Most people could not score 92 points, even by cherry picking a high school basketball game. Like, I'm sorry, but say what you want. 92 points is 92 points.
It was a great game, don't get me wrong, but he should have not been anywhere near 92 points if there's any defense at all.
But it's not
played in
his
the
fault
game.
they didn't play defense on him. And it's not like,
But
and
I'm
if his
saying
coach is telling him he doesn't have to play defense, why would you?
I'm not saying that like he's wrong for doing it. I'm
Then
saying
why fault the kid?
I'm not faulting him either. I'm just saying like in a normal game of basketball and anywhere besides the strange California high school basketball where no one plays defense, he would not have touched anywhere near 92 points.
Okay, yeah, maybe if you, yeah, maybe, but I mean, I guess you're not doing what most people do, but people are saying that it shouldn't count as 92 points and it's not even that impressive. That's where I'm like, you can't fault the kid or the game because of the way it works out. Obviously, you're going to take advantage of it. I mean, I don't have a perfect example, but like, people take advantage of things all the time. Like, if you're going to leave Steph Curry open for three, he's going to shoot it. It's like a layup for him. Like, obviously, it's not the same thing, but like, his whole point of how you win games is taking advantage of what the defense gives you. And if you're able to do that and be successful, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I'm just saying that he wouldn't have touched 92 points if the other team played or even tried to play some sort of defense. And it's not like he scored all those points on 3-pointers anyway. If I remember right, he shot like 7 for 22 on 3-pointers too in that game. So not his best shooting performance. I think most of it was from the old cherry picking. But let's move on to the Big Baller brand. The brand that LeVar started made the ZO2s, Lonzo's signature shoe that came out. And obviously, a lot of things going around about the outrageous prices all over their website, especially the shoes. $495 for the ZO2s. What do you think about the prices, Jason?
I guess the way I look at it is I wish I had enough money where I could spend $495 on a shirt or shoes and $50 on a shirt, $40 on shorts. Like I wish I had that much money. Like I would do it. I wish I was a big enough baller. Like I love it. Like I think obviously he could appeal to a bigger market if he lowered his prices. But it's the same thing with Mercedes Benz or whoever else at the high top tier market that you're going to apply to the high class. And so if that's what they're trying to do, then go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a free country. You can do what you want with the prices. From a business standpoint, I just really don't understand it though.
It's just applying to it's just trying to appeal to a higher class.
Like what higher class though?
Vera Bradley, you've got.
But it's not like there's not. I don't see the niche market though in basketball. Like,
You see people drop thousands of dollars for retro shoes. I think that's part of the thinking is if you can get somebody to buy $1,000 for a pair of shoes that was made 20 years ago, why wouldn't you pay half that for a shoe that was made a month ago? Like, I don't know. I think a lot of it is dependent on how well Lonzo plays. If the dude, I think that's just in anything. If the dude plays well, if Nike gets a good sponsor, you're gonna want to buy it. Me, I really am hoping I can get $50 I'm able to spend on a big baller T-shirt. I think it'd be sweet. Like I'm all for it. If you can afford it, why wouldn't you? But I have no issue with the big baller brand. Like I said in the beginning, who else would you rather bet on than yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's a free country. You can do whatever the heck you want. But in terms of making money, I don't think it
I
makes a lot
genuinely
of
don't
sense.
think LeVar's Ball is the number one thing when this business is making money. Not that it shouldn't or shouldn't be. I think he's focused on marketing his sons, and so like, I just
I mean,
really don't
you
like. He's
market,
gonna
you
make
market,
enough money.
you market your sons to get money
But I'm
from.
saying like I think his goal is let's make ourselves popular and make ourselves a name that nobody will forget. And if it's not like he's losing money by doing it, but I don't think he's going let's try to make the most
But
money
for what cause? I mean, it's either for
himself and like his family.
it's
Like,
either a good cause or to make money, and I don't see the making money part. And it's not like I'm not. That's not expecting you to be marketing your sons to donate to charity. Like you got to make
no, I
money to
mean
provide
it's a
for
matter
your
of
family.
it's a
But
matter of
I
getting
just don't see the making money part.
it's a
Aside
matter
of
of
that,
having a name that nobody forgets. LeBron, Magic, Jordan, Kobe, Ball. That's what you're trying to do. If money comes, money comes. I think it's a matter of getting that name where nobody will forget who they are. You know who Magic, you know who Bird, like I said, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, other sports, Neymar, Pele, Brady, Gronk. I could go on and on. That's what he's trying to
I
do.
mean, no one's gonna forget it, at least for right now.
Now,
But
but you tell me
but it all
Markel
depends.
Fultz, you're gonna remember him if he doesn't have a good
But
career?
it all depends on Lonzo's play either way, because
Jordan?
if Lonzo doesn't play well, everyone's gonna forget about. If all of them don't play well, everyone's just gonna forget about this whole big baller brand, and when it comes up, they're just gonna make fun of it in 20 years.
If the brand stays around, I mean, but like I'm saying, he's betting on his sons.
But I think if Lonzo plays well, though, you could have normally priced stuff and make a ton of money. Now, if Lonzo plays well, you still might not even get that money.
That he's going to. He's in LA.
I don't.
If he was in Charlotte, I'd give it to you. He's in LA. You heard me say it 4 times on here already. I'm buying stuff. I'm a 17-year-old kid that barely has enough money to buy a $5 sandwich half the time. But I'm going to save up and buy a big baller t-shirt. Think about the 20, 30-year-olds that just got their first paycheck at their big boy job. If you're a big Laker fan, you're going to buy a big baller. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you're underestimating the power of Laker Nation.
I'm not saying they won't make money. I'm just saying
As much
you
as they
would
could.
make more
I
money.
see what you're saying.
But let's move on to another question about Big Baller Brand. What should they do to kind of tap into other sort of markets? Right now, they're like he's talked about on the Cowherd show with Christine Leahy, only guys and only really a niche market to. Obviously, his prices are just outrageous, and marketing to a higher class people with more money that can afford this. What do you think the Big Baller Brand should really do to tap into those other kind of markets?
I think you really just go for trying to expand what you have, like the Stay in Your Lane T-shirts, that kind of stuff. I mean, I think if you can just expand what you have. I mean, it's up to LeVar. If he wants to lower the price point, do it. If not, see what you have. You're gonna sell stuff either way. Quantity maybe is not as high. But I mean, if you're happy with the price, stick with it. But just really expand your inventory. Like I'm looking at their website, they have no Lakers colored shirts, no Lakers colored hats. Like they really only have blue, red, green. Like expanding that stuff, getting stuff for Chino Hills colors and stuff. I mean, they have some UCLA colors. So really, just expanding what they have and making more shoes, different variations. They're up to the Showtime's the first ones. They're up to 5 with their Independence Day. Getting 10, 15, 20, really just expanding their inventory.
I think what would be kind of cool is if they started to sign other athletes and really let them have a lot of freedom.
Yeah, cool.
Like they're a new brand with not really a huge identity yet outside of the 3 guys that LeVar is marketing. If they let other athletes come in and kind of set their own price point on their signature shoes, all that kind of stuff. I think it really can make a really diverse brand. If I think it would make sense for other athletes too to come in and piggyback on the all of LeVar Ball's comments, everything that made them famous, and can give them a lot of freedom as Big Baller Brand's a new brand. They can kind of do whatever they want. I think that would make a lot of sense for Big Baller Brand.
Yeah, I think that would be actually something that's really cool. I don't know the logistics of it if they'd be open to signing people, but if they could, I do agree. I think that'd be cool.
But speaking of signing other athletes, will they and should they do that, Jason?
I don't think they will. I mean, like I said, the logistics of it would be hard. I think they should. That'd be cool. I mean, if you could get Markel Fultz to really sign there, like how cool would that be? If you can sign Michael Porter Jr. or these up and coming guys, like I would not try for the Currys to get away from Under Armour. You're not gonna get them.
Yeah.
But if you can get guys up and coming, Marvin Bagley, Michael Porter, Zion Williamson, even look farther, LeBron James Jr. Obviously not him, but like even those young kids, if you can get them to start being quote big ballers at this young age, and then you hit it right, you speak it into existence, you bet on the right kid, that'd be crazy. I think it'd be something that's really cool.
Yeah, I really like what you said, your niche market of the younger guys, the draft picks, guys that LaMelo and LiAngelo and Lonzo will be talking to in the NBA, and as they grow up around these guys and can try to convince them to be part of the Big Baller Brand and really expand that, get them to join in on everything and sign other athletes. So I definitely think they should. Will they? I think they'll try to, but it just depends on the athlete's opinion of LeVar, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, some people hate him, some people love him, and so that's kind of like with fans, it's really just up to how they feel. I agree.
Um, let's talk about the last member of the Ball family, Tina Ball, who had a stroke, I think, this spring. Um, and now she obviously wasn't able to experience some of the big moments in Lonzo's career. Wasn't able to go to the draft and everything. I heard that she does know that he went to the Lakers, but still can't talk or communicate anything about it. But with her family really all in the spotlight and not her, especially now that she's kind of down with this sickness. What do you think she really thinks of all of LeVar Ball's actions? And
I mean, she married the guy. I don't think I think the same thing with Lonzo in the childhood thing. He hasn't changed. I think she's obviously in love with it, and yeah, like you kind of mentioned, the whole like relationship aspect between her and their family. LeVar stays home and really takes care of her for the entire day until nighttime when they have games or whatever. But LeVar is very focused on her, and like you said, she had a stroke. She can't talk. She can make movements, and as far as she knows as of right now, is what I think Lonzo said, is she knows he got drafted, but like that's it. Like she hasn't seen his jersey or anything. Like it's really just she knows he got drafted. So I mean, obviously prayers to her as we are the sports sermon. Like prayers to Tina that she gets better and that the Ball family can really help her get better. But yeah, I don't think she really has an opinion right now. There's like bigger things going on.
yeah, obviously hope the best to her and her recovery, that she can become normal and have a full recovery again. I mean, I wouldn't wish a stroke on my worst enemy, but in what she thinks of it all, I think she definitely had to see it coming. Like you said, she married LeVar Ball. She had to know that he's this kind of way, and I'm sure he's talked about it before in front of her and the three guys that he was going to do these kind of things. So I think she gets it and understands and definitely knew that it was coming.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that if people really did their homework on the Bulls, they would realize. Like I think besides Melo's, because I don't know that much about him, all of them have a different side you don't really know. And like I think Levar, if people like paid attention, they would change their image because like it takes a lot to stay and like take care of somebody for your entire day, despite whether you married them, you have to, whatever. Like, that takes work, and I think people really just don't understand how much he's sacrificing. Like obviously he'd rather train these kids, he'd rather be with Lonzo all the time. But I mean, because she encountered this, he's by her side. And I think that's something that's really big. And I think that people really need to start getting educated on the full thing instead of just what the media says.
How much do you think this really changes especially LeVar's image as people kind of portray him as the enemy when they hear stuff like this? Do you think that changes his image a lot?
Yeah, like I said, I think if they really pay attention enough and they cared enough, it would change his image. But I mean, just today I was talking to people about it, and they're like, "Can you believe LeVar Ball doesn't care about his wife?" And I'm like, "That's just the complete opposite." Like, people really just need to get educated, and people really need to just like pay attention before they open their mouths. Whether it's casual fans, whether it's people like us that are trying to like make opinions, or even just like Colin Cowherd, those type guys, like any of the sort. Really, just like get those facts and really like make sure you know the person before you just start making these judgments. Because I mean, we're all people, love, hate, or no, don't really care. Like I think it's bigger than basketball in this situation. That's something that they're very big on. Is like it's not just about the brand when it comes down to Tina. Like she's a person, and LeVar's that's his priority.
Yeah, I think it definitely, like, how could it hurt your image if you're taking care of your wife all day that recently had a stroke? But I think definitely something that kind of could change people's opinions, especially if they currently think of LeVar Ball as the enemy, something that can kind of change their mind. Like he's working with the other kids in the community, not just training his sons, other stuff like that. He's not a bad guy. I think he's just kind of strange. But I think this helping Tina with her stroke and everything, it definitely can't hurt his image or anybody's image. So, yeah, that's I think all we have for Tina. Just a few other questions about the Balls in general. Who will be the best of the three Ball brothers?
I agree with exactly what LeVar said. He said Lonzo is the best right now because he's the oldest and he's got the most skill right now. He's got thinks Langelo has the most potential to be the best because of his body, and LaMelo will be the best because he'll have the knowledge and he'll have all of that from seeing his brothers grow up. And I just really agree with that. I think LaMelo will be the best, but I think Lonzo's the best right now.
Uh, right now, I think I haven't seen enough of LaMelo yet, so I guess I would say Lonzo. Because, I mean, LaMelo kind of plays like Steph Curry, but I don't think he can replicate Steph Curry. He won't ever be as good. So I think Lonzo, especially if he can figure the shooting out and can play solid defense, I think if he gets those two things down to at least average, I think his passing will definitely put him over the top.
Yeah, I mean, they all have that one flaw that's holding them back, I think.
All right, so how far will LeVar Ball's speak it into existence prophecy last? He's made all these crazy statements about Lonzo going to the Lakers since he was 5. Obviously, we don't know if he actually did when he was 5, but he has been saying it for a while, at least since he's been in the spotlight. How long do you think this will kind of last before he gets something wrong or just goes away?
I don't care, honestly. Like, why bet against him? Like, people keep trying to tell him he's wrong. He just keeps proving I'm wrong. Like, I don't know when it's gonna end. I don't really care. I'm just gonna keep believing what he says and keep like thinking it's a cool story. Like this guy's said what's gonna happen with his son since the kid was 5. I hope he's right. That'd be awesome if he's got that. I think I really respect the guy, and I think that I don't care how long it goes. Even if it ended tomorrow, like I love what he did, and I think it's gonna continue.
I mean, unfortunately for LeVar, I think it already has ended when he said the Lakers would make the playoffs this year. The Lakers have just done nothing this offseason to convince me that they're going to make the playoffs next year. No matter how good you think Lonzo is, even if Lonzo is the rookie of the year, I still don't think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs unless they make a big splash in these next few weeks of before free agency ends. I don't see the Lakers really making the playoffs, and I think that prediction at least is going to be wrong for LeVar.
Yeah, it might be, but like I said, I'm gonna keep trusting him until he's wrong finally, and he hasn't been wrong in a long, long time.
All right, so I think that's all we got for the Ball family today. Jason, what is coming up next on the Sports Sermon?
We got some NBA like all-time drafts. We got college football, fantasy football. But I cannot stress this enough. Like I said at the beginning, comment, comment, comment. Tweet us, tweet us, tweet us. Whatever you do, let us know what you want to see because we'd love to do it. We just really don't know what you want.
Yeah, make sure to do that in the comment section. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to see the rest of our NBA coverage, I'm sure we'll be talking much more in the coming weeks, months, years about the Balls as they're not going away anytime soon. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, we'll post there every time we post a new video or a new article on Twitter. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. The link is in the description. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you tomorrow.